table?
Yeah, first of all, it is nice to get a few days off and let our guys get at least a couple of days away from basketball, and I think we are rested for the most part, even though that Kansas game was very, very physical, and some of our guys are still nursing a few minor injuries. But I think for the most part, we'll be ready to go. We're excited about playing Mississippi State, have a lot of respect for their coach. He's been in Final Fours, he's a heck of a X&O coach, and they'll be prepared for us. They've got some great athletes and playing a great conference, and you know, they mirror us. They're similar to our records, or very close to the same. I think they're in third or fourth place in the SEC. So it'll be a fight. It'll be a great battle, and we're looking forward to it.
We're a long ways from March, obviously, still, but Mississippi State right now is one of those teams maybe on the outside looking in. How much harder is it to play against a team that kind of needs those big resume-boosting wins come March, when this is a game where that could really boost their resume?
Yeah, I think we're all, you know, just battling for a position and trying to improve our resumes. And if you're in the Big 12 and the SEC, we're all doing the same. But at the same time, I think this is a big game for both teams. And I think whoever can win this game will certainly help them in the seeding. And certainly we would hope, along with Mississippi State, that we'll both be in the tournament. And so, again, it'll be a great matchup. They've got some long, athletic players as we do. They got an exceptional guard that may be the best we've played all year. So we'll have our hands full.
I'm assuming you're talking about Iverson Molinar. What makes him so effective?
Well, he's just he's extremely quick. He's got decent size. Molinar is a guy that can shoot the three, and he's just hard to guard. If you when it comes off those ball screens, he can go either way, can split you. He's just a nightmare for a team that plays man-to-man defense to stay in front of.
I was going to ask about Molinar, but I'll go off of that a little bit. Did you learn anything else about them in that game against Kentucky that you were able to watch? Yeah,
you know what I learned? They're a lot like us. They didn't give up. They came back. They were in a hostile environment playing at Rupp Arena, and Kentucky's got an unbelievable home court advantage, and they were impressive. They were behind and came back, and you know, just played them to the very end, went toe-to-toe with a very good basketball team. So we're going to get a team in here that has got a lot of character, very competitive, and like I say, it's well coached. And this game has the opportunity to get us a lot better.
How have you seen your guys respond after obviously an extremely great effort on Tuesday against Kansas? Have they bounced back pretty quickly, or?
Yeah, well, you know, that's the thing that we hope they have. We'll see in the game against Mississippi State. But our team also, you know, hates to lose, and we don't like that losing feeling. And you play a really good team like Kansas, or any time you lose, you get exposed, and we learn some things about ourselves. And so hopefully we'll take what we've learned and apply it to our game against Mississippi State.
Coach, against Kansas, Adonis and Marcus way down the stretch, was that a coaching decision, or was that kind of what you were kind of alluding to? Some guys are kind of banged up.
Yeah, it was. You know, I second-guessed myself a lot, too. When the game's over, as always, you look back through the rearview mirror, and there's a lot of things you could have done better. And we have a lot of depth, and I wish I'd played substituted more there at the end. So, you know, I'll hopefully I've learned as well, and we can keep some fresh guys in there.
Last one about Kansas. I guess at the end, are you a guy that fouls with the three-point lead, or is that kind of one of those deals?
Yeah, Carlos, you know, the timing on that, I think when you look at the analytics, it's, you know, kind of 50-50 where you have, it may be a slight edge to foul. There's always good and bad in both. But when they had the ball, there was, I think, 20-something seconds left. So to try to get your time to time it just right, you certainly don't want to foul too early. And so you like to try to foul down 5 seconds or under, and we just didn't have the control or able to do that.
Well, you talked about Iverson, but just some other forwards too. That's going to give you guys a little bit of, I guess, some low post battles there. I guess in terms of what they bring in the low post, I guess how does that kind of challenge you all, especially with the way Kevin's playing and the way that Bryce's been playing the last couple of games?
Yeah, you'll be challenging. They'll double our post players inside, and you know, Bryce has been playing spectacular these last few games. They've got a lot of length, and so and similar to Kansas in some ways with their bigs, they'll post up and also block shots and cause us some issues there. So we're going to have to make sure that we can shot fake and and are smart with the basketball around the paint, and then maybe hopefully drive and kick out. But certainly they have a huge presence in the paint, and we'll have to make some adjustments.
Mark, Kevin McCullough hasn't been scoring as much recently. How much of that do you think is due to sort of the challenge of trying to find your own offense while being the point guard and having to set everyone else up as well?
Well, I mean, Kevin's got a lot on his shoulders because he is our leader and our point guard, and you know, we need him to distribute the basketball and get those assists. We expect him to be one of our best defensive players, and then at times he's got the ball in his hands to score. So he has a lot on his plate, and he's a very competitive person. And this, you know, this last game wasn't one of his better games, and nobody's harder on Kevin McCullough than Kev is. But at the same time, he's nursing some injury. He's not even close to 100% right now, as is TJ. So we're trying to, you know, nurse them along, get them better, get them back to where they can play, you know, at a level that they can perform it to the best of their ability. And I hope that'll be the next week or two. But we expect them to still be only about 75-80%, just as far as their, you know, their injuries go.
And then Kevin O'Banner was obviously a good perimeter player at Oral Roberts, shot the three well. This year he's more so scoring around the basket. You're putting him in the dunker spot around the rim more. How comfortable was he sort of playing around the rim when he came here, and how much of that is something that he's learned as the season's gone?
Well, you know, I mean, Kevin, you look at his stats, Earl Roberts, he was a really good offensive rebounder as well. So three-point shooter, offensive rebounder. We've challenged Kev to not just be a three-point shooter, but be a basketball player. And on both ends of the floor, he's playing much better defensively and protecting the rim. He's had some blocks. And so we've just been really pleased that he's made that step forward, that not just rely on his three-point shooting, but go inside, post up, or get offensive rebounds, get some points.
And then you have players like Kevin McCullough's a point guard, but he's still very big. And then Bryson Williams, versatile player on offense, can score inside and outside. What does that do for you in terms of being able to play different lineups when you have?
Yeah, I think it's got just pros and cons to it. And we've got a lot of hybrids. We've got guys that are kind of guards and wings and can play several positions. It helps us a lot defensively because our length and we've got good athletes. You know, on the offensive end, it can help us when we're offensive rebounding, which we should be better at, and we focus on that. We've been one of the better teams in the country till here of late, and we're trying to get back to getting those second and third shots. But at times, you know, just coming off ball screens and having guys with experience like that, we're more limited than what we've been in the past.
Yeah, Coach, I was just curious, where is KJ Allen? Where's she been the last couple of days?
Yeah, you know, great question. You know, KJ had an injury, an eye injury, and he's doing better. But he's had a death in the family, and so and I appreciate you bringing it up. So our thoughts and prayers are with KJ, and so I think, you know, he should be back hopefully next week. But he went home to be with family as is expected.
Another one. With such a highly anticipated game on Tuesday, how are you trying to keep the guys focused on tomorrow?
Yeah, but not answering that question. trying to avoid all those people want to talk about the Texas game, because you're exactly right. It is a concern of our staff and myself that our guys, you know, get ready and prepared for the game against Mississippi State instead of looking ahead, because every game's important, and you know, our goal is just try to look at each game and get prepared and do the best we can, and then hopefully, you know, make improvements so we can progress and then be ready for the next one. So we're trying to not talk a lot about that game.